So the other day, she surprised me with this Orzo recipe that she found from eatingwell.com. A source, by the way, I should point out, has actually been pretty reliable. Overall, I think my wife and I have a pretty good routine in the kitchen. She's usually the one to find a recipe, print it out, shop for all the ingredients, and then order me to cook it. I don't really mind. I think shopping's the absolute worst, and I can barely organize my life enough to get these videos out more than once a year. I made a few alterations here and there, places where I thought I knew better, but otherwise, here's the recipe. So this recipe has extra virgin olive oil, shallot, garlic, vegetable broth, dry white wine, lemon juice, salt, pepper, orzo, sugar snap peas, spinach, parm reg, goat cheese. We're actually using feta here, the sheep's milk cheese imported from Greece, not that imitation stuff from Wisconsin, and sour cream. We're gonna start off by heating some extra virgin olive oil in a large saute pan over medium heat. Now the recipe says medium high heat, but I want to sweat my shallots, not saute or brown them. So we're going to go with medium to medium low heat. Once the oil's hot, add the shallots and sweat them, stirring often, until they're translucent, roughly 3 to 4 minutes. Now the recipe actually calls for a 1/2 inch dice, but I think that is way too big for shallot, so I went with a 1/4 inch dice. Plus, based on their pictures, it actually looks like they went with a 1/4 inch dice anyway. So once the shallot is translucent-ish, add the garlic. So this is another reason why I went with medium or medium low heat here. Too much heat and your garlic will burn fast. The recipe actually calls for grated garlic. You can grate it if you like, but I find that mincing it on the board with a little bit of salt gives it a rounder, fuller flavor than just that one-note, punchy garlic. Bam! Sweat the garlic for a minute or two, just until you can start smelling it getting nice and fragrant. We'll add all the liquids, crank the heat to high, and bring it to a boil. Once it's at a boil, add the orzo and stir. Keep it over high heat here. We want to bring this back up to a boil. And then once it's at a boil, bring it down to medium low. We just want to keep it at a nice, gentle simmer. Remember, we don't want bubbles for a simmer. We just want the gentle evaporation of water vapor into the ether. Stir often and cook until the orzo's absorbed almost all of the liquid, about 8 minutes. Now add the snap peas and cook for another minute or two until they're just warmed through. Add that giant pile of spinach and keep stirring until you've wilted that green mountain into nothing. Turn off the heat, add all the cheeses, and stir until combined, and that, my friends, is it.